find fleeting and everything changing and nothing seems to be permanent, how can the happiness be permanent? And how can everything be happiness? How can this flower be happiness and how can this leaf be happiness? What does it mean? Is that the crackpot or what? Science helps us to come to this conclusion that all this is bliss. Sankara's philosophy is not the vain fiction of a crackpot mind. It's the experience of the most scientific mind. We know present day material science, investigation into the field of chemistry, matter, they have declared that all this is nothing but electrons and protons, molecules of everything, and then atoms, and then atoms subdivided into electrons and protons. Electrons and protons are nothing but charges of electricity. So all this electricity, all this form is nothing but formless electricity. That we cannot disrepute. That is an established truth of. So the ultimate reality, according to the present day science, the ultimate reality of leaf and the ultimate reality of the flower is nothing but formless electricity, formless energy. So all this form, all the beauty of the rose is nothing but a superimposition on that formless energy. All the greenness and all this of the leaf is nothing but a superimposition on the formless energy. So the science, investigations of science has led us to believe that although all these different forms and things and designs and colors, we are seeing different lights and different everything, all that we are experiencing is nothing but formless energy. That is the ultimate reality of matter, formless energy. Now, the form has been abolished and what exists is the energy. So if today, on the basis of the findings of material science, we are in a position to say that all this world is nothing but formless energy. Although we are seeing all this, ice is nothing but water. Every particle of ice is a particle of water, and ice is water through and through. Although it is being seen as ice, but it is nothing but water. All these forms and all these different experiences of phenomena are nothing but formless energy. Once we are able to establish the validity of energy as the existent, all that exists is energy and nothing else. This is an established fact today. If we could further go on in the field of analysis, now because matter has been reduced to energy, all the forms have been reduced to the formless, the field of material science is over, because the investigations were, material science means investigation in the field of matter. Now the matter has come to the end, but that is not all the existence. We know we have the body which is material. Now the reality of the body has been established as energy. But we have another aspect of our existence, and that is subjective aspect of our existence. This is body is the objective aspect of our existence. Mind, intellect, ego, soul, they are the subjective aspect of our existence. So the investigation into in the field of material science are only objective. But that is not all the analysis of all that exists in the universe. If we could have a way to investigate into the subtler phases of analysis, if we could find of what the mind is made, and of what the intellect is made, and of what the ego is made, and then ultimately we'll come to the conclusion, so that Brahman, that bliss, is the ultimate reality of which the ego is made, the intellect is made, the mind is made, and then further on in the field of grosser manifestations, the body is made, and all this limitless vast universe is made. The same one thing, the same one electronic protonic energy is transformed into the form of the leaf, into the form of the stem, into the form of the flower, into the form of the ceiling, into the form of all these different elements and all the permutations and combinations of the whole universe. So the one formless energy exhibits itself into different forms. Analysis of the universe taken further ahead, the one blissful ultimate reality is pervading through all the ego, through all the intellect, through all the mind, through all the body, through all the universe. Here we come to establish the fact that it is one reality, never changing, and that which is the ultimate reality is non-changing. The changing field is the changing, all the changes take place in the field of relativity, relative order. That which is the ultimate reality of all the relativity is absolute. It never changes, it knows no change, it is ever the same, and its essential nature is bliss consciousness. Bliss consciousness. Absolute bliss consciousness, Satchidananda Brahman. That is the ultimate reality, and that alone is, and that I am, and that thou art. This is reality of life. This is the reality of all the subjective aspect of life. This is the reality of all the objective aspect of life. Subjective and objective are the two aspects of our personality. Subjective personality, all that experiences, the experiencer in us. Experiencer is composed of the breath principle, the senses, the mind, the intellect, the ego, and the soul is beyond the subjective and objective aspect. You know, even in the end, as you find the objective aspect is changing, objectivity of our personality is changing, the body is never stable, changing. So also the subjective aspect of our personality changing. The mind is always fleeting, changing, intellect is always changing, ego is always changing. So the subjective aspect of personality is also changing. Objective aspect of personality is also changing. Both the subjective and objective personality of man is ever changing. At the root of all this ever changing is the never changing principle of life, and that I am, and that is the reality of life. That is never changing, and that we call soul or Brahman. In the language of Sankaras philosophy, Brahman. The nature of Brahman is that what Christ said, the kingdom of heaven. I and the Father are one. That is that level of oneness which knows no duality, transcending all field of nature, subjective and objective both. It's the field of the absolute. It's the state of being, pure state of being. It is transcendent. We say transcendent. Transcending all the objective and all the subjective personalities, it is transcendent reality, transcendental reality.